Good evening, everybody. My name is Keeley, and I'm going to tell you my story. And I'm not here to garner your sympathy or your pity, but to put a face to some of the serious issues that Sharon just discussed, and to plead with you to tap into your humanity and your compassion, regardless of your political affiliation. While I am many wonderful things, tonight I am going to be representing the many faces of not only a Social Security disability recipient, but also as an American that lives at poverty level. In this moment, I stand before you as what appears to be the picture of health and vitality. What you do not see is the 9 years of battling to stay alive, 4.5 years of chemotherapy, 6 years of ongoing bi-monthly life-saving infusions, of which I require Medicare to pay for. 80%, the other 20 goes to me. Too many hospital stays to count, endless days of quarantine at home, and you probably don't see the millions of tears I shed in fear and exhaustion. You probably do not recognize me as a person who is $280,000 in medical debt, a figure that increases by almost $900 every month, and that is on a month when my health is stable. And odds are good that you would not suspect that I've spent more hours than I care to admit standing in lines at food pantries in order to feed my child. You certainly do not see the daily struggles for sheer survival. And I encourage you to take a good look at me. I am your neighbor, I am your friend, I am the woman next to you at the grocery store, putting things back for fear that she is overspending, the one barely able to afford to keep the power on in her home. I am the face of those who receive disability income but qualify for no other assistance. I have, on many occasions, had to rely on federally funded food banks and low-income energy assistance programs in order to fill the gaps, both of which are in jeopardy with the proposed budget cuts. $4.2 billion in low-income assistance programs. I am the face of those who require programs run by the Department of Health and Human Services, an agency that is expected to bear a $15.1 billion cut. I am a person in whom most cases receives at best mediocre health care because funding for these programs is already minuscule. I think sometimes broad assumptions are made about what poverty looks like, or perhaps that the people that require these programs are somehow just lazy or unwilling to work, and that is not me. Please do not discount the fact that the majority of Americans on long-term disability would much prefer to be healthy and gainfully employed. I personally would give anything to be able to function in a full-time work environment, as opposed to receiving disability benefits and the stigma attached to them. Probably 3/4 of the people in my life don't know my story. I challenge you to have a frank encounter with yourself regarding your beliefs and your views of the people who are the individuals who rely on federal programs. Believe me when I say I never thought in a million years that I would need any of them. Not once did I ever consider I would lose everything and have to rely on them for survival. And while the system is definitely broken, it is so broken, and navigating it can be infuriating and gut-wrenching and embarrassing and offensive in a lot of ways. I am eternally grateful for their existence, and I would not be able to survive or feed my child without several of them. I would hope that you will stand with me in fighting the catastrophic budget cuts that are being proposed by the current administration and are being facilitated by individuals who seem to have no working knowledge of what the day-to-day struggles facing a single parent with a severe chronic illness who relies solely on these programs for survival.